see HTML events, so some of the HTML events, like when you load a web page, right, the web page would have finished loading, so that is an event. And in a form, right, you fill the elements, okay, some field is changed, that's an event. And then you click a button, that is an event. So when this kind of event happens, you want to do something, okay. So using JavaScript, you can handle the event and you can take actions. So, and this is a way to do that. Okay, so there is a button. Okay, and the button name is this timers. Okay. So when you click on this button, when you on click, what has to happen? You have given a JavaScript code to execute. What you are doing? You are calling a date function. Date function return the date. Okay, and then you are changing the DOM. Which element you are changing? You are changing the element by ID demo. Where is the element by ID demo? This is the element by ID demo. So this element inner HTML is, this is the inner HTML, right? This one you are changing to date. When you click on this one, okay. So this paragraph element, the date value will be filled here. Okay, so when I click this, date will come here. So this is what is HTML event, right? On click is the event. While clicking that, you are changing something. So strings are used to store and manipulate text. Okay, so it is used to store text, right? It is used to store words like this. Now this is a string constant, okay, and you have to put it in double quotes, okay, and this is a variable which stores a string, right? And you can also use single quotes for string constant, okay, either double quotes or single quotes you can use. So these are the different string methods available. Okay, I will not go through all these methods because I leave it to you to go through W3 schools and learn yourself. It is easy to learn. Suppose here this is a string now, text, this variable is a string. If you put dot length, it will return the length of the string. Likewise, there are a lot of functions for a string. You can go through the functions whenever needed, right? Don't go through it completely. You will forget. So when you are coding any project, okay, when you are working on any project, you need to know something. That time you go and learn. That is the best way to learn. For now, you just know the basics. Okay, so there are different methods to search in a string also, right? String search methods are there. And then we have templates, string templates. So string interpolation is basically insertion of string into something else, right? That is what is string interpolation. So template literals provide a easy way for doing the string interpolation. Okay, how you can do is, see, this is a variable which holds the string. Okay, now here I can use a dollar symbol and the curly braces and use a variable name, and I can insert this string here. So this is what is string interpolation. So basically replacing the variable names with the real value of the variable, right? That is what is string interpolation. For that you have to use dollar symbol and curly braces. You can do the same thing for expression also. So in a string, you want to do any calculation and then put it here. See, this is basically a JavaScript code, right? You can use variables and other things, right? So you have to put it in the curly braces with the dollar symbol, and you can have the JavaScript code here inside this, right? This is what is so this expression is replaced by the value of it. Okay, so this is also called as string interpolation. Okay, now let's see what is arrays. See, suppose you have to store many car names, right? So if you want to do that, you have to declare separate variables for it. Okay, instead of that, you can use an array. All the three variable name will be stored in cars, and you can access the car name using index. Okay, suppose I want to, so now the inner.html I am changing with the complete all the list of all the cars. Suppose I want to store only the first car name, I can use the index 0. So 0 index will refer to the first element in the array. So this is array means what? Collection of elements, right? This array contains 3 elements. Car of 0 will refer to the first element, which is sub. Car of 1 will refer to the second element, which is Volvo, and car of 2 refers to the third element. And cars of 2, 0, 1, 2, it refers to BMW, okay? And cars of 3, it will be array out of bound, right? So there is no element after this. So if you try to run it, it will give undefined. Okay, so this is what is array, collection of different data, right? Collection of many data, right? And you can access each data using the index. So there are different array methods, okay? Length will that array variable dot length will give you the length of the array, and similarly you can convert the array to a string using this toString method. Pop will basically get an element from the array. Push will put an element into the array. So how to use these functions? You can refer to this article in W3 schools. It is easy to it's easy. You can just go try yourself. You will know how it works, right? Pushing and popping. Pushing and popping is very important. It is be used in stack data structure. So push and pop is very important. I recommend you to go through this. Right? Suppose if we have this, right? Okay. Suppose I have a list of all arrays, and then when I do a pop, right? I am printing here the fruits. So all the data got printed. When I do a pop, that last element is popped out of the array. The array now has only 3 elements, correct? And so pop is to take one element, last element out of the array. Okay, and one more thing you can do is you can also try doing push. Right? To push now you have to push some data into the array. Okay. So when I do this, see Bala is pushed into the array. Okay. So this is what is push and pop. Pop takes the element, pushes to the element. So if you see this, right, where the push and pop happens, suppose this is array. So let's assume this is array, right? Here you have banana, orange, apple, and mango. These are the arrays, correct? So when you pop, it is taking the data from the top of the array, correct? This is what is gone, right? And then when you push also, it is pushed to the top of the array. Okay, so this data structure is called a stack. Here it follows first in, last out, or last in, first out method. See, banana went into the stack first, but it will be coming out in the last. So first in, last out. Mango went into the stack last, but it is coming out first. So this is what is stack. Okay, so you can implement the stack using push and pop method. Okay, this is stack. You also have queue. How you store data, right? Suppose you go to a tea shop, right? Whoever comes first, right? And that's a big queue. Whoever comes first leaves out in the queue, correct? So first in, first out. Last in, last out. That is what is queue. So there is sort method is there, which is used to sort the array. Okay, so sorting will happen based on the order. Suppose you have this, okay, and then you sort it and then reverse it. When you sort it, which will come first? A will come first, correct? And then B, okay, and then M and then O. You sort it and then you reversed it, so it will become in the opposite order. Okay, so there is a function to sort, function to reverse and all, right? But in the interview, if they ask you to sort, right, you should not just call this function. You have to write the code to sort. Okay, and the reverse also, reverse the complete string, you have to write the code to reverse it. Okay. Probably you have asked to write a very big program and it takes 40 minutes, right? And that time you have to reverse a string or something. So you know how to reverse it. For that time you can use an inbuilt function. Array variables can be declared as const, right? This const is introduced as part of ECMAScript ES6, right? ECMAScript is basically a standard for JavaScript, right? This is the way you have to write JavaScript. Why the standard is there for a language is this JavaScript is executed by different browsers, right? And every browser has to understand. If every browser has to understand, there should be a standard. This is how you have to code. Then only all the browsers can understand. And that standard is what is ECMAScript. Okay, so if you declare it as constant, right, you cannot change later, right? This will throw an error. Okay, so see, even if you declare an array as a constant, right, you cannot change the array alone, but you can change the value in that. So this is allowed, even if you declare it as const, right? If you declare it as const, it means that you cannot change the array. The const itself you cannot change like this. But inside value can be changed.